What's going on, y'all? This is Hype Found It in another entry. This is No Fap Day 11 out of 90. And this is something that I recommend. Like, I don't know where you're at in your life or what you ever been through or what you ever, but I recommend, hanging out with, both sexes. Not like you're bi or anything, not in a sexual way, but hanging out with both sexes. Like, being clicked up with women, like literally hanging out with the girls and being clicked up with women and experiencing that, as well as being with your dudes. You know what I mean? As well as being down and hanging out with your dudes. I think that you should. You know what I mean? That's something that's something, not everything. That's something that everyone should experience in their lifetime. Hanging out with a bunch of girls, just hanging out, kicking it willy nilly, whatever happens, just kicking it with the girls, multiple women, multiple women just hanging out, you know what I mean? As well as hanging out with the dudes, you know what I mean? Because I was in a situation today, right, where it's like, okay, this is the last day of, this was the last day of my weight training class, right? And I noticed, like, the teacher separates the girls from the guys, right? So it was like, do I go talk to the girls when we're not in class? Should I try to go hang out with the girls outside of class? You know what I mean? Just talk to them about anything, just hanging out with them. Or should I just stick with the dudes, just talk about weight training, weightlifting, and different things, just hanging out with the dudes. You know what I mean? Like, I was always caught up in between, like, in one point of my life, I was always caught up in between hanging out with the girls and hanging out with the guys. You know what I mean? For some reason, I could never do both at the same time. You know what I mean? I lost all my friends. Friends for 10, 15 years. I lost all of my friends because I pursued women, started hanging out with girls, right? So, I mean, this is just my opinion. I just think that everybody should have a moment in their life where they really hang out with girls. And they should have a moment in their life, of course, hanging out with your fellow men, hanging out with the dudes. You know what I mean? Hanging out with the guys. You know what I mean? Camaraderie. You know what I mean? Rubbing shoulders. You know what I mean? Exchanging tips or whatever, talking about different things, you know what I mean? Anyway, this is No Fap Day 11 out of 90, and that's pretty much all I want to say, Have experience hanging out with both. Know the different, it's just different, it's so different, you know what I mean? You'll go to so many different parts of your life if you hang out with different people, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's all I gotta say about today. And, one thing I really wanted to say was, No Fap, you know what I mean? I chose hanging out with the dudes because I got all this testosterone. They got testosterone. We lifting heavy weights. I'm in there. Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs? I'm hanging out with dudes. We switching up. We up there spotting each other. You know what I mean? Go motivating each other. It was cool being on day 11 of No Fap and really hanging out with the guys. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of backing away from the guys, they lifting it's too heavy, I don't want to do it. No, I tried it out. I actually tried to lift it. I only lifted it 3 times because I couldn't balance the bar. We was doing the what's it called? I forgot what it's called. The weight, when we lifting weights with the bar. You know what I mean? I did 3-4 times. I couldn't balance the bar. I was in it, and the teacher had to teach me how to balance the bar and everything. But I still didn't try it. I should have went back and tried what she said, but I didn't really do it. You know what I mean? I just went to something else. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that you should have a time where you hang out with the guys. You know what I mean? You should have a section of your life. I don't care how long it takes. Have a section of your life where you're just kicking it with females. Awesome, man. Try both, man. Not in a bisexual type of way, but really hang out with both. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. I'll see y'all guys in the next one.